Have you ever wanted to guest on a podcast like this one that you're listening to right now? Well, you can. You can definitely do this by visiting a website called Podmatch, where you can sign up and be available for all different types of podcasts that you can guest on. Or you can even search for a podcast and say, I want to guest on your podcast. I think we'd be a good match. So if you want to do this, you can go to our unique link, which is joinpodmatch.com/reality, and you can sign up and do exactly that. And you can find us and you can guest on our podcast. So again, that unique link is www.joinpodmatch.com. That's joinpodmatch.com/reality, REALITEA, and you can be a guest on our podcast. Welcome to Reality Tea Times 2, the podcast where we discuss all the trash reality TV we love to hate. I'm Danica, and we are going to be discussing the family Chantel from last week, which is what we do with these episodes. So it's from last week, episode 3. I don't remember what this episode is called. Every rose has its thorn or something like that. But anyways, we are going to be doing it with Letitia, so we're going to go into that very soon. Just to kind of explain the end of it might be a little weird, but we do finish it up either way, but it is a little weird towards the end. But hopefully it sounds pretty okay. I'm not 100%, but I'm sure it'll be fine. So not to worry. We do go through everything in the episode. And again, there are memes. You can take a look at them on the social media. They were posted a few days ago, so they're all there. And again, just announcements. We will be on a recording break during December 7th to January 7th. There might be some episodes you'll get after the fact, but they'll be limited for the most part. And as we've been saying, you will get as much of the episodes as possible before that happens. But we'll see how that goes. And yeah, that's basically kind of where we're at with that. And we'll keep you updated as much as possible, kind of leading up to everything. But again, there is a huge announcement now on all of the social media platforms outlining what that break is going to look like, what episodes you're going to get prior to that, and what that can look like during and after the break. So that's kind of where we're at with that. But enough said. We have nothing else to really discuss right now. Let's jump into the episode. Okay, so here we are talking Family Chantel, episode 3. But before we do, because Letitia wasn't here last week, what were your thoughts and feelings about Karen selling the gaming chair for $1?
Fabulous.
It's
Fabulous.
It's
He could have had it for free.
Oh my God. I'll give you $1 to shut up.
Oh gosh, that's a good movie. That's one of our movies.
If we're not even going to name the movie, if you know,
no, we're not.
You know.
Exactly.
It's our inside joke. That's
Yep.
All right. So let's start with the episode. So, okay, so we're
Can
going
I
to
just say something? What really
sure.
had me laughing? I was in tears. Um, and I know we're probably gonna touch on it.
Mhm.
The pole dancing.
Karen.
Oh my God. When the wig was on the floor and she had her braids,
Okay, I missed the wig on the floor. Oh my God. I missed
I
that.
was I was in tears. And I'm just like, whoa, like she's getting in there, like literally wig off, braids out. Mama's having a whole groove session. Oh God, that was it. That's why when I messaged you, I was like, "Are you watching this?" Because I was in tears. Like it was amazing.
I I must have missed that.
Oh,
I just wasn't even paying attention. Like it didn't even clue into me. Maybe that's why, but like I completely missed that.
it was. Oh my gosh, like it was hilarious. I was in tears. Like I literally took it back. No, I rewatched it again because I really wanted to see what I saw again. And they literally kind of showed the wig on the floor, her dancing, pulling the braids, and I'm just like, where the fuck did she get braids from all of a sudden? She was just wearing a wig.
It fell off her as we're about to go into her crown fell off.
Oh, the crown. Which
So
I do
that's
like that.
I
I
do.
understand. I do
No,
like that as
I do.
well. Yeah.
But that's where we're headed. We're headed to the store and we're going to, it's called Crown Wigs. And then there we
Hmm.
don't call them wigs, we call them
The
crowns.
crown.
And I
Side
mean,
note, I really did not like the wig that Winter had on, or that, yeah, or that
that is
it.
my next that is my next note. I do not like Winter's wig.
No, it doesn't do anything for her. Even the wig that she had on, that she was trying on, like that doesn't do anything for you.
No,
Like,
I don't like the blonde.
no, the
It was
blonde wasn't working. Like the blonde
the,
wasn't doing it for me.
the style of the wig. I didn't like it.
No,
I didn't like it.
it clashed with her skin. Like it was just
Hmm.
too. It wasn't for me.
No,
Mm-mm.
no, I didn't like it. Didn't like it at
Mm-mm.
all. Um, so we're here because Winter is apparently going to be doing some like
Plus
plus
size
size
modeling.
modeling in New York.
Hmm.
So we kind of see Chantel kind of putting on this pink wig that looked
She looked really
actually
good in the wig,
really good
though.
in that wig.
Yeah, she looked good
That
in
was
that wig.
a perfect
Sorry, crown.
crown. It was perfect. I did like
Yeah.
that on her. And then Karen says, you know what? I got a confession to make. I hired a PI. And Chantel's like, for why?
Why?
For why would you do such a thing? And because, Karen needs to, find out what's happening and try to understand why this breakup happened.
Hmm.
Like it's Karen's relationship to do any of this for. It's,
Hmm.
and Chantel says, I really don't want to be doing any of this. I just want to move on.
Yeah, which her mom should have respect for her in that manner. Like, let your
Exactly.
child move the fuck on, please.
I mean, I totally get that. I understand that Karen trying to be a protective mom, but this is not the way to do it. So
Yeah.
you're not helping anything.
Yeah.
So we do find out though that the PI talked to Alejandro, and Alejandro apparently wants to have an audience with Chantel to talk about some of the things that he observed while he was with Nicole. And it's like, no, Alejandro has nothing to say. Alejandro just wants to be on TV again.
Yeah, he just wants TV time. Like,
That's
he has
it.
nothing to say. Nothing to say.
No.
Ooh. Now, hold on a second. Now that we're kind of speaking on Nicole here for a second, I saw exactly what you meant by all of a sudden she has braces and then she doesn't have braces. Remember you
Yeah.
kind of touched on that?
Yeah.
Mm,
It's weird when we know she had
very.
her braces taken off like a while ago.
Yep.
So yeah, so Alejandro, he wants some time to talk to her. And
Well, the way how they're saying their names, Alejandra.
the fact that this woman is still speaking Spanish and rolling her R's and all this nonsense, it's like you sound ridiculous.
Ah, sorry.
It's so dumb. Like, stop it.
It is. She needs to stop. Karen does too much.
She does
She
the
really does
most.
too much.
She does the most.
I
Um,
agree.
anyway, and then we also then start talking about Karaima and the potential history with Karaima and Pedro. Apparently, according to this PI, says that Pedro and Karaima had a relationship before he was with Chantel.
Do you believe that though?
Um, I didn't, but then I did. Only because of something Pedro says later. And
Oh.
I'll save it. I'll point it out. Trust me, I'll point it out. I mean, we know that Karaima had a thing for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he seemed pretty goddamn comfortable with her when he danced on her that time.
Oh, yes, he did.
So I don't know.
He didn't have two left feet then.
Now that's a good fucking point. Hmm.
He did not have two left feet then.
We will talk about that date in a hot minute.
Oh.
Because the first thing I had to say is, oh, hi, Chantel.
Right? Oh my God. The splitting image of Chantel.
And I'll
Oh
talk,
my God.
and we'll talk Nicole too with that because I'm thinking, are you okay, ma'am?
Yeah.
Anyway, so Chantel is a little livid at this little crime situation. And
Mm,
she says like she always had a feeling that maybe he was cheating on her with Karaima.
right.
And, that's kind of that. And then we start talking about this. This was good. This was
Mhm.
good. Whether this was true or not, this was good. I'm like, I was leaning the fuck in. Then we start talking about business meetings.
Oh God.
Yep. And the fact that Pedro went on a trip with two different people, I guess for a work trip, which
Yes.
where are you selling houses outside of Georgia?
Outside of Atlanta, what are you doing?
Where are you going? Anyway, they went on a trip. I'm gonna picture it's probably the chick that Chantel thought he was cheating with. And
Yeah.
then it was also this owner or the mentor, whatever this
Right.
person is, who we did see last season. And the PI believes that he was potentially having some sort of affair with the mentor.
Yep.
The same mentor, for those who didn't watch the episode, was going to Chantel and talking with Chantel after she
Yes.
crashed the bar situation
Yep.
last season.
Hmm.
And it's like, I'm a believer of marriages.
Oh
And if
boy.
I was seeing anything, you know, and there's
Hmm.
potential that she could have been fucking Pedro this whole time, which actually I can see that being a possibility. I feel like Pedro will do anything to get himself to where he needs to be.
Oh yeah. He's a user.
And again, as we will see kind of later on in the episode, more towards the end, he wasn't fucking Chantel for a year.
So where are you getting it from?
Where are you getting it from?
Thank you.
My man can barely go 2 weeks without saying, babe, let's go.
Right?
A year?
You're getting it from somebody.
Exactly. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
Like, what man, literally, women, what man and men, men who sleep with men, what man do you
Hmm.
know isn't having sex for a whole year?
Thank you.
Like,
Virgins.
that's different because they never had pussy to begin with.
Right.
So that's a whole different situation. But, um, so yeah, Chantel is a little bit confused and a little bit upset because she trusted this woman
Yep.
and thought that, she could have been trustworthy. And she's like,
Exactly.
I
But
told
turns out
her
she wasn't.
things. Yeah, it's like I told her things, and
Hmm.
this is what I'm finding out. She says, I'm going to be sick.
She goes and she vomits.
And she
What?
vomits, and Winter's like, let me hold your wig.
Let me hold your wig. Like what? Oh my God.
I mean, you can't hold your hair because you have a ball cap on, so let me hold your wig.
Oh.
Oh man. So, but yeah, that's kind of that. So Do you want to spice up your love life? Well, you can make that happen by going to Love Shop, where you can get sorts of different things, whether it's for both you and your partner or just for yourself. For solo play, you can get things, all types of vibrators, maybe more kinky type toys, or you can just buy what every person may need, like lingerie or protection, or even just something to make it a little more fun, like games or novelty things. You can do all of this by going to Love Shop, and you can use our unique coupon code REALITY2 to get 10% on anything your heart's desire. So that's loveshop.ca, LOVESHOP.ca, and use our unique coupon code REALITY2. That's REALITEA and the number 2. So now we're in the DR, and Pedro has his date with Chantel 1.0. Not 2.0, 1.0.
Yeah, 1.0.
And I'm like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
My thought was Nicole. I thought you thought Chantel wasn't pretty because my girl
Right?
looks just like her.
Identical.
It was the weirdest thing. And obviously, my mom was like, no, I don't think she looks like her. And I'm like, are we watching the same show?
When they put them side by side, they look identical.
I didn't need the side by side. As soon as I saw the chick, I'm like, oh, Chantel. Okay.
Yeah.
And Pedro was like, um, so this will be the one and only.
Yeah.
Because you look like my ex-wife.
Yep. Crazy.
I mean, she should be exactly what you're into because you were married to your wife for 7 years. Oh, but you want to act like she's not your type. Okay.
Exactly. He's such a damn liar.
He's such an asshole. You're just mad. And yeah, so I did write down here though that the waiter was real cute.
A waiter. Oh.
That man can
Oh.
get it. Anyways, so then producers ask him, like, do you think that Chantel is um dating
Dating.
other people? And he's like, well, I know Drake, like, slid into her DMs, and
So then that's true.
100% that's true because Chantel
Mhm.
confirms it later on, but we all knew that was true a long time ago. And yeah, he's like, I know Drake like slid into her DMs and all of that, and
Go with Drake. Go be with the famous rapper,
he'll
you
be
know?
with, and I'm like, okay, Pedro, so you're not jealous, right? You're not
Right.
jealous that
Okay.
a famous Canadian rapper who can also get it is
So,
sliding into your ex's DMs.
listen
Okay.
to me. If Drake slid into my DMs,
Drake will be sliding into something else.
right? Real fucking quick.
If my man is listening to this, I love you. Anyway.
Let me just go over to that mansion real quick, make myself real comfortable, and I'll be sliding.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
My God.
Man, that man is hot. Anyways, okay.
Oh, a light skinned Negro.
Yeah. I'll convert. I'll convert to Judaism if that's what he needs me to do.
Oh God.
Um, so yeah. Um, so Pedro, like we said already, is like, what the fuck? This girl looks like Chantel. What is happening? Pedro's a little triggered by the fact that she looks just like her. And all he literally does in this date, though, is talk about Chantel. How
Mm.
Chantel is this and Chantel is that. Oh, you eat chicken feet? Oh, her family wouldn't eat chicken feet. And just talks consistently about her.
He misses her.
100% he misses her.
That's all you talk about is your wife, like as your ex-wife. Like get over it. If you're over
Yeah,
her, start talking about her.
exactly. I mean, you're the one who initiated this divorce. You
Hmm.
clearly are butt fucking hurt. But you made your
Clearly.
decision. You made this choice.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I mean, I know we said last time that like, oh, I think actually, I don't know if you were on that episode, but I was saying like, oh, I don't think he really misses her. Like he said he was missing her, I think last episode, and I was like, no, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
I think you do. After like
He
after
does.
seeing this, yes, you do.
Yeah, he does.
But I have no sympathy for you. That's the only thing because you did it to yourself.
Yeah.
Anyway, my girl Chantel 1.0 basically says that he's still dealing with a breakup, and I don't think he's really ready for
Mhm.
any sort of relationship. So that's it. That's it for that date.
Yep.
And so now we're with Chantel, and we're going to be going pole dancing, which we kind of talked about pretty briefly already
Yes.
in the beginning. And Chantel says that she used to like doing pole dancing, that she kind of stopped doing pole dancing because Pedro didn't think that pole dancing was something that a wife should do, and
I'd
kind
be
of made.
happy because if that was me, if I was Chantel's husband and my wife was doing some pole dancing, you better come home and teach me or show me what you've been working with on a pole because I want to see you.
That's what I'm saying. Like my girl was doing some tricks and flips on this pole, and he has a problem with her
Like,
doing.
what? My wife better come home and show me what the hell she was doing on a pole, and then she better come and sit down on this pole and do some flips and tricks are for kids on this pole. The fuck?
And here's the thing, guys. Again, like I probably shouldn't be talking about this, but I am. For anyone who are reality gay fans with the podcast, and they got to go to the season 10 launch party,
Hmm.
and they met Chantel. And,
Oh,
and Maddie sat and talked with Chantel and says, I understand because he's just recently out of a relationship himself, and he said like, we got dickmatized, like you got dickmatized by Pedro. And she said, oh my God, that's it. So this man knows how to either a fuck
yeah,
or at least has a big dick. It's basically
yeah.
also based on what she said later too, is listen, once you go big, you can't really go back.
You can't.
Anyway, so yeah, I thought that quite interesting, but I'm just like, girl, can do whatever the fuck she wants. And if my girl wants to go pole dancing, let her go pole dancing because that's going
Exactly.
to benefit you. You know what I mean? I mean, who's going to be there? It's going to be all women and maybe a gay man. Either way, nothing you need to worry about. Like, I don't understand the whole thing about her not being able to go pole dancing.
She should have. If that's something that she's enjoys and she's doing it for her husband, what's the problem? Fuck.
Exactly.
She ain't doing it for nobody else. Stupid.
Yeah, an absolute dumbass. But anyways, and then I said, what the fuck is Karen wearing?
Let me, those glasses, bitch, we all know she can't see out of those sparkly glasses. So what are you doing? The glasses are down to here, bitch. They're sitting on top of the
My
bridge of your nose. Like, what are you?
my mom was like, what the fuck glasses is she wearing? Like, what the fuck? And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, there's no way she can see through these glasses. And I'm like,
There's
oh,
no way.
they're fashion glasses. They're not meant for you to see through them. They're meant to look good.
So stupid.
But I'm also talking about the whole outfit on a whole. And I'm thinking, are you supposed to be like a Janet Jackson backup dancer? Or like what
Listen,
is
the way how
happening?
she spread those legs, girl,
Thomas is a happy,
she
happy
could
man.
teach me a thing or two.
It's oh, but yeah, so they do what is the fireman like twirl around
Yes,
the
the
pole.
fireman twirl.
Chantel does it fine. We don't really see Winter doing a whole lot, honestly. She's kind of in the back there. But Karen, my
She's way in
girl,
the background.
way in the back, we can't see her. Karen, my girl, is trying to do it. She's like, I don't think I can do that, but she tries.
But she tried.
And girl, I'm like, poor thing. It's okay, but you know what? You tried. So
You
that
tried, exactly.
you get A for effort.
Yep, exactly.
So, yeah, we see Chantel doing her flips and her tricks, and
Mhm.
you
And
know,
spreading them legs high to the sky, honey.
yeah, and with this, she starts talking about, even if you get like, I got lots of different men coming to my DMs, basketball players, baseball players, maybe even a famous Canadian rapper.
Mhm.
But
She
she's,
confirmed it right then and there.
oh yeah, but, you could have at least
Yeah.
taken a ride on his pony. You know what I mean?
Girl,
You don't have to go into a relationship with him. You could have just fucked him and report back.
I'm done.
If Drake slid into my DMs, I'll be like, when and where?
Let's today,
I will be single for a minute.
real quick. That if I'm with him for 2 hours, I will be single for 2 hours.
That's what I'm saying. I will literally go to
Yep.
my man and say,
I
listen,
will.
if I went to
I will
my,
sign. I will sign that NDA. I will do it all. Like,
I don't need to
yo.
talk about anything. Literally, if I went to my man and said, okay, listen, Drake just slipped into my DMs and he wants to
Hmm.
do something, you can give me that pass. Like, come on.
Thank you.
I'm coming right back to you anyways. Like, come on. It's fine.
Hmm.
But she basically says that even though with all of that, like, she just wasn't really in a place to get into anything with anyone, which
Right.
I do understand that. Even physically, sometimes that can be kind of difficult when you've been with one person for so many years.
Hmm.
I get it. Still, but I get it. But she says, with all of this pole dancing, maybe I can go to like a date. And her
Hmm.
friends are trying to set her up on a blind date while she's in New York. So
Oh yes, 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 yes. It looks like she's gonna see a white guy.
I couldn't quite tell. I
Well,
didn't
what's his name? Oh, his name is Scott.
I did catch on to the name Scott.
Yeah.
And my mom's like, another Scott. I said, no, 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 no. That Scott, our Scott is a Scott.
No,
This is a
yeah, that's
Scott.
Scott.
This
Yeah,
is
this is
this
just
is
Scott.
Scott. Wait,
Hmm.
yeah, we got a Scott and then we have the Scott.
Yep. Oh my God.
So yeah, so we'll see her on that date. That's the
I'm
page.
sorry, but Pedro's mom
Oh my god.
and a Scott? I cannot.
I can't.
I can't. Like it's so
You
stupid. And
I've
really,
had
and
some drinks.
they're
Can you
talking
take me
about,
to my
oh, I
room?
want to marry an American. I'm going to marry an American. You just want to go to the States, bitch.
And she's proud to marry an American.
Yeah. All her Pedro, sh- um, the fucking sister Nicole and the mom, all they want is American men and women to go to the United States. That's all they want.
The only difference with Nicole though is that she technically Alejandro is Dominican. He was born in the DR and then went to the States because he got married to somebody and that didn't work out. But he technically is Dominican,
Mm.
but
Well,
just lives in
she
New
was gonna end
York.
up in the States anyways.
True. True, true, true.
They're all users. Like they're really and
All of
truly
them.
users.
All of them. And I don't
Yeah.
understand where they got that from. Like where does this come from? I feel like it all comes from Lydia, honestly.
I feel
It has to come
I
from
feel
her.
so. Because obviously she had to train her children. She had to tell her children this.
Yeah. Ugh.
Like for her children to want to better have a better life or this or one of you guys have to marry an American and this and that the third. I feel like she really did have a role in to play in this.
Mhm.
And I feel like the whole entire time Pedro really and truly just was going to stay with Chantel for the 7 years and call it a day.
I mean, I don't want to discredit the fact that I think Pedro did love her at some time.
He did.
And I don't think he anticipated the crazy ass family,
Mm-hmm.
but stop acting like her family was the only problem.
Yeah.
Your
And calling
family is
her
also crazy.
the two families together, like the two families together were not okay.
No,
Like they were
that's
not okay.
that's the
They didn't
reason.
get along. They didn't see eye to eye. And I think that Karen, Chantel's mother, and Pedro's mom, Lydia, and the sisters and the siblings, everyone was just all up in their business.
I still don't get it
Nothing was
though.
left private. Nothing was left private for them.
And you know what? I do have to blame Chantel and
Yes.
Pedro for that. I do
Mhm.
think Pedro tried to keep certain things as private as possible, but when you are a foreigner in a different country and you have like
Mhm.
everyone against you, you're going to resort back to what you think is safe, and that's your family.
Right.
But Chantel really truly was the main issue here. Like again, I'm going to reference reality gaze. They have created being Chanteled is now a verb. And the meaning of being Chanteled is telling your damn business to everyone who will listen to you.
Oh yeah.
You can't put all of your shit out there for everyone to hear. Your
Exactly.
your family and
Absolutely.
your friends are going to be biased to you. If your friends, like we can attest to this, if your friend is hearing all the negative shit, they're not going to like your partner,
No.
right?
Mhm.
You have to sprinkle in some good in there sometimes.
Exactly. You have to.
Or, or you just don't talk your business as much as you can. Obviously, you need someone to talk to in certain situations, but you gotta, you know, when it comes to her family, they're too fucking involved.
Yeah.
And she should have stopped while she was ahead with her
Oh,
family.
100%. Absolutely.
I think the only person who wasn't all up in her business was Winter as much because she had her own fucking problems.
She had her own issues and her own problems, exactly dealing with
And
that guy.
then and then Royal was off in the Philippines, so we didn't really hear from him except for that one season. That was just oh, that was a great season. When they walked out in that getup for the wedding,
Mhm.
oh,
Mhm.
that was some gold. Anyways, but so yeah, so Pedro is now talking with Nicole about the date. And he's
Mhm.
like, she's not really my type. And Nicole's like, but
Why?
why? Um, um, I
And
literally
she
wrote, I really
like,
wrote, and Nicole's like, you know, like you said, why? And I'm like, yeah, missed it, I guess. Like, honestly, I think Chantel is way prettier than this girl, but
yes.
she still looks like her.
Absolutely.
She
I agree.
basically looks like if Chantel wore less makeup and had no type of surgery done.
Yeah,
That would have been her.
that would have been Chantel.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
ridiculous. Anyway, so they're not going to talk about Escott and
Yes.
Escott. And Nicole says, listen, I had some questions for Escott because
Which
they
is none
weren't,
of her damn business.
we'll get to it, because she said they weren't communicating. So I asked him, how many women have you had sex with?
That's none of her business.
None of her
I'm sorry,
business.
but he's a grown ass man.
He can
And
fuck as many women as he wants.
I understand that, she may be what I don't even know how old Chantel
I,
is.
I think, or Nicole. Nicole,
Sorry.
I think Nicole, because I think Pedro's like 12. I don't actually don't even know how old Pedro is.
Isn't him and Chantel, they're both in their 30s?
I think so. So we're gonna say like Nicole's probably like late 20s.
Okay. I'm sorry, but no 20-year-old should be asking a grown ass man how many people he had sex with. He is a grown ass man. He's in his 50s.
The thing is like he says, because we see the clip where he says like more than 10.
Yeah.
What is not being said here is that Nicole takes that as he's hiding something. If we
Hmm.
remember from Love in Paradise, he literally says, and it's in the moment, I'm really uncomfortable to be talking about how many women I've had sex with
Hmm.
to Lydia's daughter. Because at the
Hmm.
end of the day, he sees you as a child because you are a child to him, and he's not going to have that conversation with you. Maybe
And
he
he
would have
doesn't
that
have
conversation. Exactly. Maybe he would have that conversation with Lydia because that makes sense to talk about those.
to.
I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but like I know with me and my man, we have talked about our body counts
Yeah.
with each other. That makes sense. So maybe he'll
Hmm.
have a conversation with her, but he doesn't want to have a conversation with you. That's
Right.
not necessarily him hiding something.
Hmm.
But if you really want to know, I advise watching his first episode of Love in Paradise, where he talked about the fact that he had sex with a lot of women. There's your answer. Now, I
Yeah.
don't know if it's necessarily Sarper numbers of 2,500 women, but he's definitely had sex with a lot of women.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we even talked about that. Do you think Sarper has had sex with 2,500 women? Do you think that's normal, like freaking possible for anyone to have sex with 2,500 women?
That's disgusting.
And is there something with him in numbers? Because he talks about the 2,500 women, and then he talks about like how she orgasmed like 12 times, and like he's counting this, and I'm like, what?
He has an obsession with numbers.
Seriously. And again, for those who don't and want to laugh and want imitations, Reality Gaze is it because they
Mm.
imitate him, and it's fucking hilarious. They're literally like one orgasm.
Oh,
Like they're literally counting. Like count the Dracula, I think, on Sesame Street. I think it's that's basically what they use the voice of. It's fucking incredible.
mm-hmm.
He has a numbers issue. I don't know what's going on with him. Anyways, this is not a toe podcast. This is not the toe episode. So we'll go back to this. So anyway, basically Pedro says that we'll set him straight.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So now we're with Pedro meeting Karaima. This was fucking gold. I loved
Oh,
everything about this.
wow.
The producers ask, how much history do you have with her?
Mm-hmm.
And
What are you thinking?
he says it's complicated.
Oh yeah, that's complicated, all right.
And then this is the part where I'm like, when he said this, it solidified that he had something with her.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They ask him, did you ever hook up with Kurama? And he
Mm.
says, I never hooked up with her. He's like shaking his head. I never hooked up with her. At that point, I'm like, okay, no, you're lying. And then he says, I never hooked up with her once Chantel came along. I never hooked up with her. And I
Yeah, so
said,
you with her
oh,
before.
you hooked up with her before. Suddenly he's going to ask, like, okay, hook up, I know means different things for different people. But to me, hooking up means you fucked.
Yeah.
That's what it means for me. You
Mm-hmm.
said that you have never had a sexual experience with anyone before Chantel.
Mm-hmm.
So either you're lying about that, or you cheated on Chantel with Karima before,
Yep.
maybe before you came to the States or after or whatever. Something happened between you and Karima.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we all remember your ring came off that night when you danced with her, according to
Exactly.
Nicole. So
Mm-hmm.
how, it's just disgusting. I'm sorry. If my man's ring came off in that situation, I would have lost my fucking ever living mind.
You're very disrespectful because the fact that you didn't put it back on, you're very disrespectful. So fuck you.
Exactly. So, anyway, so then they're talking, and she's like, you're divorced. What happened with, with that? And I knew that was going to happen. I called it. Like, I knew you were going to do that. I kept telling you it was a toxic relationship. I said, Krim, shut the fuck up. You know nothing about
Mm-hmm.
what it's like to be in a marriage and how complicated that can become.
Mm-hmm.
But, anyways, they talk about that. And he's like, I can't remember exactly what he said that kind of prompted this, but he kind of makes it known that, like, I'm interested,
Yes.
I'm interested in this. And we see Karama kind of flashing her ring.
Yes.
And I'm like, no, ma'am, you can't flash your ring to a straight man. He's not picking that shit up. A
No.
woman, I caught that. And I'm like, oh, my girl's flashing her ring.
Yep. You can
This
see.
this straight ass man isn't going to catch on to that.
No.
So he's like, says absolutely nothing. And then she says, oh, I'm in a relationship. And he's like, oh, you have a boyfriend. He's like, are you planning to marry this man? And she's like, yes, I do. So they're engaged, like straight up.
Yep.
And he's like, okay, show me the ring. And
I would have bought you a bigger one.
oh
Okay.
my God,
Okay.
I would have bought you a bear one. I'm like, with what money,
Thank you.
sir?
But not even that as well. Like she's disrespectful to her so-called fiance. 'Cause, like, you're not even defending that or, like,
Yes
you know what I
and no. Yes
the thing
and
oh
no.
my god, my finger would fall off. Shut up.
Yes and no, though, because the only thing that I will say about this is like, she, whatever her intentions was in meeting him
Mm.
was, it's in her own head.
Yeah.
But I, at least from what we're seeing, she tells Pedro I'm in his relationship. I'm engaged to be married and all of that. It's done. It's over with. There's no chance here. And Pedro obviously didn't know that. But I'm just curious. Like, here's what I'm gonna say. You're supposed to be claiming that Karaima's your friend.
Mhm.
You try to tell me that Karama never once posted on Instagram or something that she's now engaged, and you didn't see
Thank
that?
you.
I don't buy it. You really trying to tell me that she didn't fucking tell Nicole that she's
Thank
engaged,
you.
and Nicole didn't tell you?
Thank you.
This was all producer driven, at
Oh,
least,
yeah.
or at least a recreation of some sort. Yeah, I'm just like. Anyways, I love the fact though that my girl is now engaged to somebody else,
Yep.
and now you don't get a chance with her. I fucking loved it. I'm like,
Yep. When you want
anyway.
to take a picture and post it like you're with the bitch.
Which, okay, we're gonna talk about that though. So anyways, yeah, so they take a picture, we're gonna talk about, which the picture they took was different than the picture he posted. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
Different picture. But anyways, they take a picture and whatever. So now we're in New York with Chantel and Winter and Karen.
Mhm.
Have we noticed that we haven't seen River much?
Yeah.
Haven't seen a single thing of River.
Not a shit about River.
That's okay. He's probably busy in the studio or something. Um, so anyway, so they're going to be doing their thing, and Karen says, "Well, I'm going to be meeting Alejandro while we're here." And Chantel's like, "No, you're not." And she's like,
Yep.
"No, but I'm going to meet. I want to hear what this man has to say." And she's like, "I just want to move on. I
Yep.
don't want to deal with this anymore." Karen
Exactly.
needs to respect her daughter's decisions with this. And she's like, I just want to understand what was happening. And like, maybe he has something he it's something to say. And I was like, you were not the one who married Pedro. You
Yep.
weren't the one who was trying to build a life with Pedro. You weren't the one who was sleeping beside him at night and fucking him at night. That was not your relationship. This was
Exactly.
Chantel's relationship. Leave it alone. Let this
Exactly.
woman grieve her relationship because that's where she's at right now. She's grieving the demise
Huh.
of her relationship. Let her do that in her way and leave the shit alone. I don't understand her. Anyways, so that's what Karen says she's going to be doing. She's going to have this meeting with Alejandro, and then then Chantel gets a little ping on her phone, a notification, and that is the picture of Pedro and Karaima. My first thought was, why are you on each other's Instagram still?
Why? Why?
Why are you still following each other? Or at least you following him?
Exactly.
Why are you doing
Stupid.
that?
You're hurting yourself even more.
Exactly. I mean, listen, if you can have that kind of relationship, like I have that kind of relationship with my ex where oh, mind you, we've been separated now for how long? So it's whatever. But
Yeah.
that shit doesn't bother me anymore. But we still respect each other's boundaries or whatever.
Of course.
But I can see him maybe post a picture now at this point in my life, in this point of our separation or divorce, and be like, okay, we're good. It's fine. But there were definitely times where I had to completely just take him out, block him, do what I had to do because I needed the privacy. I needed to just deal with this on my own and not have him in my ear.
Exactly.
We all go through processes. And if her process of healing is to get rid of him completely and not have that shit in your face, then
Mhm.
so be it. If you don't want to take him off your Instagram because you want to be able to communicate with him in some way, if you need to, you can turn off your notifications for the time being. or you
Yeah.
can mute him or whatever the hell you need to do. I know there's so many things you can do on Instagram that you can do that. Or just you still have him on WhatsApp, you still have his phone number, you still have all those things. You
Hmm.
can just get rid of him off of Instagram, whatever you need to do. Not, I didn't understand. But anyways, seeing this gets her in her feelings, and she's like, I knew it. I felt like he was lying to me. I felt like there was something going on. You have fucking Karen in the background being like, I knew it. I knew it. And
No, that pissed me off.
it's just, but then I thought Winter handled this so amazingly, where she's like, are you okay?
Yeah.
And she hugs her. And that's maybe
Hmm.
all she needed in that moment, which is to be hugged.
Exactly.
Because it is a process, and it is hard to see your man with another woman when you were with that person for so long. And it's
Absolutely.
it's a gut punch for sure.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so that's basically kind of that. But she's pissed off now, and we're gonna see how she's gonna handle that in a minute, which I also thought, like, why are you doing this to yourself? But before we do that, though, back in the DR, Lydia is getting ready to see Escott. And then we see Escott drinking, waiting for Lydia to come. And you see him with the translator that now they can actually have a conversation with each other.
Now we can have a conversation? Like, oh, so stupid.
Lydia comes in walking in this green dress, and she says to him, how are you? And he's like, oh my God, you're speaking English. No, sir, she's just reciting something the only thing that she knows. She's actually probably doesn't even know what the fuck she's actually saying. So, um,
Good. Hold on, we skipped a whole part here.
we did.
Yes, because remember Lydia went to the hairdressers and she's like, "Oh, I have a secret to tell you."
Oh, that was last episode.
Oh shit. Never mind.
That was last episode. Um, but yeah, so anyway, so like, yeah, Lydia is literally reciting her three phrases that she has learned that she needs to know for her American husband. So that's basically all that happened here. So yeah, she says, like, how are you? He's like, oh my God, he's speaking English. And they're talking, and she says, okay, what about your Colombian girlfriend? Do you still like talk to her and blah, blah, blah? And he's like, nope, you just fucking with my head again. And I haven't talked to her since like December. It's over.
She
It's
wants
done. Until the next time she has to message you, Sarah, and be like, oh my God. And like, I loved her so much. And she's talking to me again. You know what? I'm going to meet up with her, and I'm going to ask her and beg her to come move to the States with me until it happens again.
his nose bothers me, looking like ET.
Really?
Oh, sorry. He look his nose, his
Oh,
no, his nose looks like ET.
AT phone home.
Oh,
She's doing the finger and everything. AT phone home.
oh, oh my God.
I still think he looks like a bulldog.
I just like when I it's his nostrils for me that just reminded me like yeah, that's an ET lookalike right there. I wonder if that's where they got it from. They need to give him his coins because honestly, if he had any part in ET, they need to give him his coins.
Sir, do you know Steven Spielberg?
Like,
But yeah, so anyway, so he's like, I'm not talking to her anymore. And he's like, you know what though? You're looking real good in that dress. But I think it's just an obstacle at this point. I said, oh,
she just wanted to get in between her legs.
that has always been his thing. He's always what he wanted to do was have sex with her. And I'm just like, oh, the dress doesn't. I mean, I don't know about him, but I know about my man. A dress is no obstacle.
But
You just lift that shit up.
hike it up. Fuck.
But anyways, it's an obstacle, he says. And he's like, you know what? I've had a lot to drink. And I don't know where my room is. Do you think you can help me find my room?
Full of shit.
And she's like,
Okay.
It's like, okay, Escott, I will help you to your. Oh, before we even get into this though, Escott. She calls him Escott, and he's like, it's not Escott, it's just Scott. Or call me like this, or call me that. And I says, sir, your name is now Escott. Deal with
Escott?
it.
Exactly, Escott.
Everyone's gonna call you Escott for the rest
Yeah.
of your fucking natural life.
Oh my God.
So, anyways, so she says, yeah, I'll show Escott to his room. So they go up to the stairs because they're in the same hotel that he was in last time. And they go in the stairs, and she's like, it's too far. And he's like, it's too far. Hikes her over his fucking shoulder and is like, let's go, let's go.
He knew
Like she's a
exactly what he was doing.
like she's a fucking sack of potatoes. And he's like, let's go.
Hi ho, hi ho.
It's off to fuck we go.
E.T. go home. He sure took her home.
But anyway, they go up and go into the room, and he says, "You good?" Because you know she got a little hot about the
Right.
whole thing. Okay, it's like, "You good?" She's like, she puts her hand up. She's like, and then he basically says with his little eyes and his little like click click thing, and he's like, "Go away."
Yeah,
And
he
that's
already, he already knew, and Lydia obviously wanted it, clearly.
my girl hasn't had sex in what, 13 years. God, I don't know if I believe that either. But anyways, that's what she says. And yeah, that's that. With that. And we'll guess we'll find out what happens with that a little
In the
later.
next episode, she spent the night there.
Oh, for sure she spent the night there.
Hmm.
And I mean, get yours, I guess. Even if it's with a bulldog ET looking man. Um,
Right?
so then Chantel tells us that she got an email from the realtor
Yeah.
because they got an offer on the house. Now she says that both her and Pedro got this email, yet he didn't respond to anything. And she's like, it is a little below asking, but I just want this shit over with and done with. Like, I don't want to do this with anymore. So
Oh, that's so good.
I'm gonna call him and we're gonna have this conversation. And she's also going to insert the whole crime situation into the
This is so
conversation.
stupid, but okay.
Okay. But she calls him and she says, did you see the email from the realtor? We got that offer. I think it was like 410.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, but that's too low. And she's like, I get that, but I guess rather have this done and over with sooner rather than later. Don't you agree? Yeah. So she says like, I don't care. I just want to get this over with. And he says, yeah, but we have to pay for commission too. And
Hmm.
he's just like, I don't care. And he's like, no, it's too low for me. And then she starts bringing Karima. And she's like, you know, what the fuck? And he's like,
I
it's not
don't
your
care.
business.
It's none of your business. It's none of your business. I can do whatever the freak I want. Shut up.
Exactly.
Sounding like a damn bitch. I can do whatever the freak I want. Okay.
I mean, technically he can.
He can, but he sounds like a bitch.
Exactly. Technically, it isn't Chantel's business what he's doing, but
Exactly.
so I don't understand what her whole thing was having this conversation. But then she says, listen, you owe me an apology. You owe me a thank you because, like, I had to put up with your erectile dysfunction.
Mm.
Oh my
Oh
God.
God.
Oh my God. That was fucking great.
Oh shit.
So, if you like what you heard, please rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. And you can rate a review on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And I have a new thing that I want to start trying, and that is that every 4 or 5 star review that we get, I'll read it on the podcast. So if you want to hear your review on the podcast, please rate and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you're able to rate and review. Um, And if you want to connect with us, you can do so by going to Reality Tea Times 2 on Facebook, Reality Tea Times 2 podcast on Instagram or Threads, Reality Tea Times 2 pod on Twitter. You can also find us on Reddit at Reality Tea Times 2 pod. And you can also email us at realitytimes2@hotmail.com. And don't forget, you can find us on YouTube at Reality Tea Times 2. You can also subscribe, like, comment on there as well. We greatly appreciate that. And don't forget that I do have another podcast with my friend Mikkel called Next Take Podcast, where we talk about all kinds of different things. We currently have, this number can definitely change, but we currently have about 8 episodes. Roughly, we've talked about all kinds of different things. We have a lot of fun over there. So please go take a listen to us over at Next Take Podcast, which you can find us on YouTube at Next Take Podcast. You can also find us on our website, solo.to/Next Take Podcast. And don't forget, we have a website, and that is at solo.to/Reality Tea Times 2. And we also have a Discord, and I believe that's Reality Tea Times 2 as well. So you can find us there. But that's basically it. That's all of the stuff. Of course, everything here that I've just listed will be in our show notes. All discount codes, special links to everything that we put in our ads are also in our show notes. And yeah, that's basically it, guys. Thanks so much. Bye. Have you ever thought of starting your very own podcast? Doing the research, I found something that would have made editing easy and seamless and makes the podcasting experience just that much easier. And I am talking about Ludo. This is a podcast software that I use for our editing of our episodes. It is amazing. It is easy. You're also able to get help from doing chats and getting the information that maybe you just need a little more help with. They also have access to different articles that can also help you that have been just godsends for me. Also with Ludo, you can create clips. You can do your ads, just like this very one I'm doing right now. And you can create your trailer very seamlessly just by the clicks of buttons. You can also use Ludo to publish your episodes just straight from the software. It's so easy. I highly, highly recommend it. You can get access to Ludo by using our unique link, which you can find on our show notes, just down there at the bottom at the show notes. And you can get access to an easy software